They turn left and on point step in time to the plink of the strings. Another line of fairies joins them. Together, arms pulse high in unison before repeating the plinking steps on point. A third fairy line arrives, swivels through a unison sidekick, then matches the steps on point. They spill into a trot round the dell. A smooth bent arm spin sinks the fairies down to one knee in unison. Their bodies arch and dip beneath pulsing arm sweeps. They rise with crisp arm flicks and supple wrists. They eddy through each other with spins, arms flowing side to side. Their eyes twinkle as they share smiles. They arrive in a loose formation. On point, they flit from toe to toe with small bounces and revolve on the spot, their arms like graceful wings arcing high and low. They gather in the middle at the rear in 2 clumps of 5 at the base of the dark staircase with their backs to us. Their arms raised high, they pulse forward and back like a curtain of leaves on a breeze. They swivel out and form a tableau of elegant arms and downcast eyes, framing Titania and Oberon, king and queen of the fairies, standing shoulder to shoulder between them. Arm in arm, Titania and Oberon move forward through the fairies, elegant and upright. With palms outstretched, they each sweep a hand high as if surveying their kingdom. Their eyes fall on the child, still reading. The fairies watch as the child rises with her book and donkey and makes her way to the front and center of the forest grove. She doesn't see them. She sits and reads. Titania and Oberon gaze longingly at the child. The fairies' arms waft forward and back. The child yawns and stretches, reads a little more, gives another yawn and stretch. One final yawn, then she lies her donkey as a pillow and sleeps. The king and queen snap a look to their fairies as if dismissing them. The fairies skitter out. One hand towards the child, the king and queen quietly approach without taking their eyes off her. In profile to us, they stretch their arms wide and lock eyes in a standoff. Titania darts for the child. Oberon blocks her. She shoves him, but he grabs her arm and whips her into a pirouette. He leans for the child. Titania touches his shoulder. He takes her into a smooth lift across his body, but discards her. They each gesture that the child is theirs. She launches her hands high overhead, and he ducks low. Their disagreement is clear. They turn their backs to each other, arms crossed, and flick angry glances, each avoiding the other's looks. They each spin and reach for the child, then strut away, palms raised, as if no longer interested. They both zip back, each scrabbling to hold the other away from the child. This leaves them in a clinch. Their eyes connect, and they slide into a series of matching spins and fluid arm swirls. They snap furtive glances at the child as they swirl together. Oberon kisses his way up Titania's outstretched arm. She arches, melting into him with a smile. He shoves her aside. They each reach for the child. Their eyes meet. They spin in unison with high back leg raises. They flow away from us and back again, and both reach down and touch the child, who wakes and twists to look up at them. Titania beams. They each bend low and stretch their arms to the child. Titania claps. Her fairies return and swirl Oberon to the side. The fairy leads the child out. Titania tosses the soft toy donkey to Oberon and blows him a kiss before leaving to the left with a smile. Oberon scowls, squeezing the donkey. He charges after Titania, but pulls up. He strides right, then stops, staring at the donkey in his hand. He faces us and wrings the donkey's neck with a flinty stare.